Good morning, guys. I'm back. Sorry, forgot the coffee. Gotta have coffee in the morning. Holy cow. How's everybody doing this morning? I think Frank's going to be joining me here in a minute. Let some more people pile in. Hell, I don't know who the hell's up at freaking 8, 7:14 Central Time, but most of you truckers should be up and ready to work. Dispatchers should be rolling. Phones should be ringing. Hell, we should be hustling. I know we're hustling. Give me a second here. We will get things fired up. How is everybody doing this morning? Everybody's joining in. It's Shaggy at Shaggy's Consulting and Training. Welcome to the show. We come live every morning about 8, 8:15, talk 30, 45 minutes about the wonderful world of trucking that we live in right now. It's so ecstatic, so exciting. Everybody loves it. It's number one topic in the world right now. Yay! Everybody loves it. Rates are up, freight's knocking, volumes are high. People are jumping in. No, just kidding. That was a couple of years ago. So today we're talking about hitting bottom. Today's going to be the bottom because it seems like everybody's at the bottom. What's up, Mad Max Gonzalez is in the house. What's up, brother? Nice to see you. We're going to talk about hitting the bottom. The bottom. What do we do? My wife yells at me every morning telling me about how ever since we were doing the webinars at night and we had 25 people in a class to now we're running a fucking brokerage, dispatching, building a trucking company, insurance, equipment, and fucking uh, compliance and safety. You know what I mean? Like, why can't you just do one thing? That's what it says. What do you do? What are you good at? What do you specialize in? Why do you have to do it all? She tells me every morning. I don't know. Why didn't I do it all? You ever think about it? We're doing dispatching, and dispatching's hard. Like taking a guy with no trailer and then getting him a trailer, helping him find stuff, making that $7,000 a week for 50 weeks, getting a guy home on weekends, and then building round trip lanes. It's hard. No one does it. I'm sitting here rebuilding my dispatching, and we got two or three clients, and we're taking them from their fucked up problems to get them into a fixed problem. Do you understand how much work that is? Like when you've been doing it all wrong, you got your box trucks, your straight trucks, your hot shots, your semis, your flatbed. I mean, you've already went from flatbed to dry van. That was a chore. Now you're switching from dry van back to flatbed. Next, you're going to go over to reefer. Now you're going back to this. Then you don't even have a trailer because you didn't even look for a trailer. And then you want everybody to make you $7,000 a week. You know what I mean? It's crazy. All right, here comes trouble. Frank's in the house.
What up?
Frank, good morning, Frank.
Morning, what up?
We're talking about kind of it's funny because it's kind of like lately I don't get a lot of new authorities, like lesser new authorities. Mostly everything I'm getting calls of starts out like this: hey man, my insurance went too high, my safety score is kind of fucked up, and I really need to lease on to somebody, and I got 4 trucks, 4 drivers, and 4 trailers, plus I still drive. That has been the phone call, Frank, that I get every day.
You know, Sparky Anderson told me about a year ago, talking on the phone one day. He said, these people running these low boards and trying to make a living on spot freight. He said, shit's getting tight. He said, I fear, he said, my fear is if you're not already settled into a spot right now, if you're not already in a groove, if you're not already doing what you're doing, it might be too late. That was a year ago that he said that. And Sparky has one of the deepest, most profitable, cool grooves of anybody I know. And he's very measured. He's very like he could add 10 trucks today. He doesn't want to. He's good right where he's at. You know, he's got drivers that call him up looking for jobs and wanting to work for him. He's got a list of people that he can call and add drivers if he needs to. And he's just sitting there just cranking along with his little 7 or 8 trucks. He doesn't he doesn't want 30 trucks. He doesn't want all that. And he drives himself. He gets out there every night and goes out and runs routes and drives.
But
And
that's what a lot of people that are doing. That's the problem where we people like me become extinct. Because we were talking about this morning because we're not adding, we're
yeah,
maintaining. We're not. We're if we are growing, it's because we are looking for a new product. We're
it
not.
would be so easy for you. It would be so easy for you to to get off of social media, just sit there every day, get yourself 10 trucks and, hire yourself a clerk to sit there and do the paperwork. It would be so easy for you to do that. But you get out there and you try to help people, you try to educate people. Your phone rings night and day, day and night, on the weekends, every other time. You're trying to help people, you're
Yeah,
trying to do.
but if you're just
If
answering
you
calls,
pulled
helping
everything,
people,
and I tell people all the time, and I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed. If you call me at night or on the weekend, you'll be talking to yourself. I ain't here. I'm busy.
you
And
see,
I get up every morning. I get up real early. I help Frank deal with the business. I do my part, what I need to do to help and support him. And, that's enough. I mean, that is enough. We focus on our job, we focus on our customers, we focus on our trucks, and that's all I want.
that's
That's
all I
enough.
used to do until 17. You remember?
Yeah,
You got me. I was
yeah,
good at it. I went to my office at eight
yeah,
o'clock in the morning.
yeah,
Mickey showed up. I had maybe one or two helpers. Melissa did payroll. We ran 25 trucks plus another 15 dispatch, and I did it all in lanes. You sit there and these guys are calling you, and you're sitting there. Do you post with direction? Do you search with direction? Are you building lanes? So then I go and I build these lanes, and people are calling me with volume. And then you get one guy, and you're like, well, that's going that way. Then you get another guy. Well, that's coming back. Then you get three more guys going that way, two more guys coming back. But no one takes the time to find any of this because we're everywhere, but we're not anywhere.
yeah. I get it. I get it.
And then,
But
but you sit here and you keep preaching it. Well, you like you said this morning, you look at it, and we're not being dumb. Guys with our experience, right? Me, you, and Frank. Fuck, dude. Like I said here, we brought on Juan, and me and James are running it. We took him out of Chicago with no power only, ran him over to PA, found some extra stuff. We haven't let him sit at all, and he's made $1,300 a day, $1,500 a day, $1,700 a day. And I'm sitting here like this guy. We're doing it with power only, and this guy's going to end up with 7,000 plus. And the last 15 guys aren't even averaging 7,000 plus,
yeah, yeah.
but they all want 10 to 11. And we're talking about legally, not
Yeah,
illegally.
yeah, but I got into a conversation with a woman online, and she's a friend of mine, and I respect her about hiring people this morning, and I said it's really hard to hire people. I said Frank wants to do other businesses, make investments, get involved in this, get involved in that. I just have one criteria, and as long as we meet that, I'm good to go. I'll invest, I'll get involved, I'll do whatever he wants to do. My criteria is this: I don't want any employees. Don't want them. Don't want them. Everybody wants to get rich quick. It took us years to build this business. I mean, years,
Right.
and build these relationships and all the stuff that you and I've been preaching for years and years. It didn't happen in a day. It didn't happen in it didn't happen in a year. It took years to build this up. So I'm not anxious to, as you put it, all day, every day. I'm not real anxious to diversify unless it fits in my little box. If it fits in my little box, great. I'm all for it. Let's do it. If it doesn't fit in my little box, I'm gonna invest in the company that pays my bills, and that's me. That's my company. I'm gonna invest my time. I'm gonna invest my money. I'm gonna invest all my efforts into the thing that keeps me moving. That pays my bills, takes care of uh my family and the people around me. That's what I'm gonna do.
I made that post this morning that said, what's a 47-year-old guy that only knows trucking? That's all he knows because if we got focused, all he's ever done is trucking. He's helped in trucking. I mean, think about it. At one time, I had over $140 million in factoring residuals and another, God knows how much at another factoring company, right? Helped a group of guys do over 1,100 plus insurance funded, right? That's
Yeah,
insurance policies funded. Help factoring companies go from 20 clients to over a couple hundreds. E-carrier check, we helped put that on the map, right?
Yeah,
Before they're everywhere, right? Remember when he started? We remember when he only had like 40 clients. You know, you think about the TAP program, all these guys that you've been with me because you've sat in the background watching where I've trained them and taught them how to build their businesses. You know what I mean? You
sure.
look at trucking companies that left that made more money off what I taught them, right, than what I made off teaching them.
Yeah.
That's the fucked up part.
Who are those people that were at your office when Frank and I came up there that time? We went to lunch with them all. They live up in northern Indiana.
Yeah, they moved to Iowa. That's Joe Farland and Carlisa sat in the back with you. You guys look like a
Yeah,
bunch of old fogies having fun while I was trying to teach.
yeah. They've got it going on.
Yeah, they're 9 trucks and still adding.
Yeah.
They stay within 5 states on his ad he hired, and
Imagine that.
they're getting hooked up with everybody from
Yeah.
Menards to
Yeah.
Lowe's to this to that. Whatever has volume, that's what he's looking for.
Smart.
Yeah, he
Smart.
does. Yeah,
Smart. Yeah.
Charles is in the house.
Who?
Charles, right there. He just popped up in the comments.
Oh, look.
Lefty.
Chuck. Whoop, Chuck.
Yeah, so like I know my problem because I'm sitting here looking at I have 2 choices, right? Because I already got the team, so my problem is compensating right now. So with me, it's bringing the dispatching back. But the problem is when I bring the dispatching back, you said invested, and I'm sitting here, and there's no way I can do dispatching and give it to other guys to do it because I'm selling my product again. It's like there's no way I can go and open a trucking company here in the next couple months and let somebody else fucking run my owner operators without me trying. That'd be like me promising the world to a guy and
Can't
then
do it.
letting the guy go to some dude in some
It's
other
too much.
country and wonder why he doesn't like working for me.
It's too much to try to bite off. It's
It
too
is.
much. There's just so many hours in the day, and you got to manage your time. You got to decide, what do I do in those hours that makes me that's the most profitable for me and sustains my business, keeps my business going. What do I do?
I
And
think
just
that's the question every day we
zero
have
in on that.
these people.
I worry sometimes when we start talking to people a lot, and I'm a big believer, and you know that. But I worry when we start talking about you know diversity and diversifying and spreading out and doing this and doing that. A lot of people out there, it's like this guy when we were talking on the phone a while ago, and you said, "Well, I got this guy calls me and he's got 4 trucks and he's doing this and he's doing that and he's trying to do this and he's still driving and he's doing this and doing that." And I'm thinking, how does this guy get anything done? I mean, how does he? How do? Because something somewhere, no matter how cool you are, no matter how smart you are, no matter how organized you are, you spread yourself too thin, something's going to fall through the cracks.
Well, yeah, here's the conversation, Shaggy. I've been in business since trucking 1998. I love the guy enough. He might be following me, so I'm not saying his name because I'm going to help the guy, right? But
Yeah,
still, yeah. But it's the story. He's not mad. I called him a dumbass like 7 times on the phone, and he's from Sirius, so he wasn't offended. Because some of those people from other countries, when you say "fuck you" or
yeah.
"dumbass," that's offensive. I don't
Mhm.
care, but I'm just saying. So he's on the phone, and after I heard his story like 4 times, I'm literally telling him a dumbass. I'm like, how do you go from being an owner operator for all those years and immediately going and getting a trucking company and then hiring on drivers and not having any diversity and no product? Because he started off the conversation that he needed a lease on with me to
But,
a company because he lost his because his insurance, right?
but
But then
why
you look
do
at the
people?
insurance and the safety score, and then he's in the same sentence he tells me he has something to offer to bring his trucks to me, right?
I had a partner years and years
Dedicated.
and years
He
ago.
said he's got dedicated. Listen, he
Years,
said he's got dedicated, right? So he tells me he's got volume, $3 a mile going from Chicago to Michigan
yeah,
and Atlanta, Georgia. So I'm like, dedicated means you have freight coming back. No, we just grab random loads coming back. That
that's
means you
not
don't have shit.
dedicated.
I know. That means you don't have shit, brother.
Yeah,
And you know what I mean?
that means you have an outbound customer, and good for you. That's a good place to be. I mean, having an outbound customer is a good thing. But I just everybody thinks that they can get in this business and get rich quick, and grow. And I had a partner for several years, a long time ago. That was his model. He wanted to get big. That was his big thing. And we were Vincente. He wanted to. I hope he knew it was not because it went down, but because of a disease. But turn around and done something. My hands are over. I still get calls and send them all to you. Good, but you can't. You know. I didn't want to keep getting bigger and bigger. What I wanted was a business that was sustainable, that would last for 20 years, that would be there when I'm gone and take care of my kids. That's what I wanted. And he didn't see it that way. He wanted bigger, 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 bigger. For what? We were swapping a lot of money. We had at one time we had about 26 employees that just sat there all day, every day. We had 6 offices, and they were sitting there all day, every day, all day, every day, and they were busy and they were working their butt off and they were breaking even. What is that? What is that? So it's a long story, but I bought him out and I took over the company. And Frank and I went in and shut all that down. Now we have just the 3 small offices with people in them, just the people that we need to run our business. And we get phone calls from our customers every day. We'd really like for you guys to handle this and if we can, we do. If we can't, I'm not buying trucks and I'm not leasing on trucks. That's not my business model. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I go, no, that's not what I do. I had a phone call with my and he's a friend. We've been doing business for 20 years, but he called me yesterday and we talked for an hour. And he said, "Well, I got all these other guys and they're wanting to do this, wanting to do." I said, "Well, let them do what they want to do. I just want my little piece of the world. I'm happy with that. I'm good with that." And if he called me tomorrow and fired me, I could move right over to another thing, and I know that. So I
And
don't know.
and I get it the same way with what we're doing now. Like like when I was restarting all this because the training stuff, we talked, and I was like,
Yeah,
man, I'm going to do this, this, and this because I already have the network. The problem
it's a
is the
lot.
network's there, and it's like there's no reason to leave it on the table because these guys aren't getting help. But to get to the point of where we want to be is fucking.
Well, you know who's the best example of all this stuff I'm talking about? Jess Graham, our friend Jess. Jess has got her truck. She's got a couple of trucks, and she has a place. Oh, Mike. She has a place, and her mother lives down in Belize. Her goal every year is to spend X number of weeks in Belize. That's what she wants to do. She knows how many miles she's got to truck, how many weeks she's got to work, how hard she's got to run. And when she's running, she'll run 7 days a week, 24 hours a day until she hits her goal. And when she hits her goal, then she'll back off a little bit. And she works to live. She doesn't live to work. She goes out there, puts in the miles, puts in the time, and then she gets on the airplane and goes to Belize for 8 weeks. I mean, what's wrong with that? Takes good care of herself,
I
you
just
know.
want no, I just want my compliance company, the brokerage going, paying the employees, making money. I just want the dispatching running, the trucking. I
Yeah,
just want it going where everybody's being compensated. I don't need to be 200 trucks.
yeah. I just the guy over in that went to work for the co-op, with his trucks, and now he's got I don't know how many trucks he's got, 4 or 5, but he also farms. A young guy that you taught him. It's,
Yeah,
that's the perfect family business. He doesn't want to be any bigger.
Mr. Zuber.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be any bigger. He doesn't want the headaches. He doesn't
Well, he
want the
farms too, right?
huh?
He farms too and does
Yeah,
that
yeah.
community
Doesn't
stuff.
want
He's
the
on a
headaches.
board,
He doesn't want the debt. He doesn't want the liability.
and
He's
he's only
got his little
25.
ducks right there in a row. He's good at it. He's really good at it, and he makes money. And
But don't you think sometimes, like what we talked about this morning, we get caught up on building the big vision and forget about the little things?
yeah,
When it's like
oh
we're
yeah,
talking about, like literally, I just need to do one thing with 5 individuals, and I cover every problem I have,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I still don't need the investor
No, no,
or
you don't.
loans. Isn't that crazy? The
No,
littlest thing.
no.
What's up, Ethan? Nice to see you. Or you're tagging Ethan.
Even
So, guys, if you're in the chat and you're new to the show, that's Frank. I'm Shaggy. We've been doing this forever. He's the ugly one. I'm the cool one.
yeah.
No,
You
no,
got
just
to be famous for something. That's me.
yeah, yeah. So, look, I mean, the trucking industry's killed him. He was nice, clean cut when we started. And now look at him. Looks like he just walked out of a cave.
Yeah, I'm only 32. I just look like this because I've been in trucking all my life.
That's what happens. Seriously, he just started 2 years ago.
Yeah, all my hair was black. I had a big afro. I was playing drums on the weekends. Yeah, no,
What's up, man? So, well, if you guys are on here and you have always remember me and Frank love questions. It's
yeah,
like trivia. bust our balls if you think you can. That's what we want. We want you to ask us whatever questions, strictness, problems, whatever you think we can't solve, and we don't have it on our speed dial lifesaver line. We could probably help you ourselves, I promise. Between his 85,000 years and his dad Mongo, when they first started. You know what I mean? So if you guys have any questions, we're on. We're here every day, 8 to 8:15, 30, 45 minutes. Today we're talking about that brick wall, hitting bottom. Like, I'm not at the bottom, my personal self, but when you lose a certain amount of money in your business and you're used to making an extra 300, 400,000 a year and it's suddenly gone over a year, what do you do with your business plan? Do you go back to what worked?
Yeah.
Do you keep reaching out for other stuff and trying new things? What do
I,
you do?
just like I said, when Frank comes in, and he does, Frank's brain, he's one of those computer brains. He'll come in and he'll say, Dad, I've been doing a little research, and what do you think about this business? And I go, great. Do we have to hire people? Well, we'd have to have a few. I said, yeah, count me out. I don't want any more employees. I don't want any more people. No, no, I don't want it. I don't want to get into a
Well, what
business.
about the people that are starting out that need to think about that direction? You're past that already. What about the ones that aren't? They're going to need those people or those partners to help them get to where they want. Where's the plan?
Yeah, yeah, but you have to pick the right partners, and you have to pick people with the same work ethic that you have, and that's hard to find.
It's fucking crazy. Where do you find
Yeah,
it?
I don't
It's
know.
like you were joking earlier about the bilingual lady you found at Waffle House, and it's the funniest thing because when I do training, everybody says, "How do you find the best dispatcher work in house?" I said, "You know that guy on YouTube that was selling window cleaner door to door and had more jokes than freaking most comedians out there." Or the lady that's at the restaurant working for minimum wage or with plus tips that can do 19 things at once.
Or you go to a store. I went to Ace Hardware the other day to pick up some screws, and I went in there, and this lady came. This lady came up to help me. Sir, can I help you find something? I said, well, I'm looking for this, and oh, those are right over here. And she was really nice, really helpful, cheery, smiling. How are you today? Who wouldn't want to have that woman working in your business? Who wouldn't want that attitude? How much is that worth to you? How much is it worth to you to have somebody with that attitude working in your business? I mean, that's what I look at. That's what I see.
Well, why would we do something to find people like that? Hell, we don't. Yeah, I always ask this question when somebody calls me and they say they're a broker. I'm like, how many people do you know? They're like, what do you mean? From when you grew up, like from grade school to now, how many people do you know? It's funny. They'll be like, couple hundred. How many people do you know on Facebook? Facebook. Oh, I got 500 friends. How many people do you know just in general? Like everywhere. If they were acquaintances, everything. How many
Yeah.
of those people know you own a brokerage or a trucking company?
Yeah. I don't I don't qualify people by I don't start out qualified by people by how much new business they can bring me. I just want attitude, because if you've got the right attitude, see, Frank will not hire an experienced broker. He will not. They call him every day looking for a job. He won't do it. He wants to bring them in, sit them down, and show them how he does things, how he treats our customers, how he treats our carriers, how he manages things, and he wants them to do it that way. The best employee we've got, she's been with us about 7, 8 years now, I think. He hired her from Waffle House because he heard her speaking Spanish to some customers.
It's crazy.
Yeah, we need a bilingual dispatcher. And he walked up to her after we finished breakfast, and he said, how would you like to make double what you're making right now? And she said, what? Yeah. I mean, it was great
From
for her,
home.
great for us. You
And
know.
now she works from home too because of COVID, right?
Yeah, when COVID started, we had to. Everybody got shut down. We sent everybody home. And she has two small children, and she's a single mother. She takes care of them. Her mother got sick, went through a real bad patch, and she had to help take care of her. And I mean, yeah, yeah. What up?
Thanks for joining us. We try to be here every day. If Frank's not here, I am. He
Yeah,
pops in when he can. We're here every morning, Monday through Friday. Just waking you up, drinking coffee, drinking whatever the hell you want to do. Hell, a lot of people are drinking alcohol to start the first day because the first three phone calls made you feel like this.
yeah,
Very much. We could talk. We have so many topics to talk about, like brokering and dispatching. Dispatching is really crazy. Somebody asked me why my dispatching is so good, and Frank the other day, and I was like, "It's not that it's good. Well, the whole dilemma is dispatching. You're always against it. I'm still against it. I think every guy in the right mind that owns a trucking company is fucking stupid for
That's why if we did it in my office, I would charge 50%.
Yeah, but I'm still against it though. I
I
still
get
think you should do it yourself. If I opened a trucking company and they didn't work in my office next to me, I wouldn't let nobody run my trucks.
let me tell you something. Everybody, we think you and I think everybody should know how to do that stuff themselves and do it themselves and build their own company, grow their own company. That's what we think. But the truth of the matter is, if you have a trucking company and you have more than 7 or 8 trucks, you need help. You need help. So you can do one of two things. You can hire somebody, bring them into your office, get a desk and a chair and a computer and a phone, sit them down, teach them what to do. And you can either pay them a W 2 or 1099, depending on what they want. I have people sometimes that want either one, and I don't care. I'll go either way. But you can put them in there, or you can pay somebody outside to do it. I don't want to do that. I don't trust people with my power of attorney. I don't trust people with my authority. I don't trust people with my
Like
paperwork.
I was really good, like even on the dispatching, right? And when Roger Pennington in the group,
Oh yeah.
like we've seen about every kind of fraud there is, right?
Oh yeah.
But here's a perfect example why like with me, nothing against foreigners. I love everybody. I am not racist at all, right? I have nothing in my body. I'm racist to certain things, like I hate black dogs or purple hair. And just kidding. No, but but see, the problem is Roger Pennington, and I've had this happen a lot lately, where they're busting people that are dispatching services that are double brokering too. Imagine that. Did you guys know that was happening?
Oh yeah.
Like,
Constant.
holy cow. So what happens is the broker, like us or Frank, bust the guy because they catch him with the load because it's going to happen to you once. It's very hard not to have it happen, right?
My
Well,
point about the dispatch service is though, I want 50%. If I can take you from 5,000 to 10,000 a week revenue on your truck because I know people, because I know how to make lanes work, because I know where to send your truck where there's freight coming out instead of sending your truck on a wild goose chase to fucking Denver or Miami or someplace where there's no freight. I know these things that you don't know. If I can take you from 5 grand to 10 grand, I want half of it.
no, I agree. It's a
Yeah,
lot of work.
yeah. You
It's
still
like
you
because
still come out way,
everybody
way,
you're
way,
talking
way ahead. Way ahead.
everybody you're talking to when they're asking why your dispatching is better. Why would I be better? Well, number one, I post with direction. Number two, I search with direction. Number three, every time I get a phone call, I'm looking for volume and lanes to repeat the process over and over to keep you in the same area. Number four, I'm looking for consistency. We're never going to talk about freight chasing. I want to, if you need, because when it all comes down to it, everything's about that paycheck, putting the money away, escrow, and being able to grow your company and diversify because most people won't make it long with one truck.
No, they're not gonna. Some people will. A lot of people will. Brian Hutchins, for instance, he's had one truck for 20 years. Yeah, he bought another one. Then he's got driver problems all day, every day. And
Yeah.
he said, you know what? I don't need this. I can make more money with it. And my dad always used to say, only buy as many trucks as you can drive. That was what he used to say.
The guy I rent my property off says the smartest business owners in the world are people that what they own is right in front of them.
Yeah, yeah.
They own
But
it.
but here's another thing I can do if I'm dispatching for you. I know what rates are. I know what they are from here to there and here to there and here to there. I know what they are because I've been doing this for 40 fucking years and I know what the rates are. And
Yeah.
I'm a better negotiator than you are.
It's like the incident. It's like the incident we had on Friday where I'm teaching James to dispatch and I give James a choice because if I did it for him, then we wouldn't get to experience things. So I told him, you have two trailers for this power only. One is 7 day loadout that picks up on Monday that goes to Georgia, where we have a trailer waiting that we can grab in 7 days and we can load it out and make money in the Midwest and then end up in Georgia. Grab that trailer and bring them by, keep them back in the Midwest. Or you could call and get this one going over to PA that loads on Friday because it's a tollway that pays good, and then you got to get them out of there. I said research ahead. Which one would you took? I would have took the one on Atlantic because the guy's at home. It starts out better. The one you got 7 days to load it. You could make more money with it. You have a trailer. So, but he didn't. So the difference between experience and non experience is the one guy's going to chase the freight, get you running now with no plan. The other guy's constantly have a plan. He's building a product and he's looking for the consistency in the future. So I don't have to work for behind.
Perfect. Hey,
And,
it's
and
time
the
for
truth
us to get out
too
of
is,
here
yeah,
because Jay's got breakfast ready for me, and I am not letting that get cold. But guys, tune in the mornings when we're here. We'll help everybody we can. We love doing that. The reason Shaggy and I like doing that is because, believe it or not, over the years, lots of people have helped us, and we got to help each other. If we don't, nobody else will. Nobody else will. The government is not going to help you. The government doesn't even know you're fucking there.
and lately, the way my phone calls have started back up the last 2 weeks, Frank, YouTube's not helping either.
No, no, no. A pattern for failure. We don't want anybody on here to fail. We don't want anybody to get frustrated. We want everybody to get happy. And everybody's happy. You know what makes me happy is different than what makes you happy or what makes Shaggy happy or what makes other people happy.
I
I'm
like
perfectly content with my business the way it is right now. And I get up in the mornings and I do my thing. And I got my kids, I got my grandkids. I like to go fishing. I'm ride my motorcycle, do all that stuff. I'm perfectly content just to do what I do and keep it clean, keep it maintained, and keep it moving in the right direction. I mean, honestly, to me, that's the solution. Find your groove, find your comfort zone, get in it, and keep it clean, keep it all nice, keep your little house nice and clean.
I agree 100%.
But I gotta go because my breakfast is ready. And I don't like eating no cold egg. I don't know about the rest of y'all.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Guys, it's been 32 minutes and we've had a freaking great group in here. I hope we give you some knowledge. We're just kind of discussing what's going on, things that we see. I'm getting calls for people with bad business plans, bad business plans. And it's crazy because now that I'm mentoring and I'm calling and I'm teaching and I'm helping and people are setting up one-on-ones with me, the more I understand. Because now not just am I teaching, I'm running a brokerage. Kathy and I are running the compliance. It's all in-house. We got the dispatching up and running. We're like 9 trucks, 8 trucks between the four of us. And we're growing. We're adding more every day because we have a product. We have consistency. We have pre-planning. We have home. We understand that it takes 230 a mile empty and loaded, or 220, or 241 with owner operators, or 270. We understand that if you guys have company trucks, you're only making so much. When that company truck's down, you're starving. You need owner operators. We understand all that stuff. You guys got to get out of the mentality of one and done, today and tomorrow. What are brokers keeping? What are they leaving on the table? And DAT is my only answer. I don't know how you guys are putting up with stuff without posting and searching for direction. If you guys are running day by day and behind right now, oh my God, I bet you want to peel your skin off your head. You know what I mean? That's a great question. Well, Nelson says, "How can I take advantage of e-carrier check for to benefit my brokerage?" E-carrier check's one of my favorite programs. I love supporting them. Jared and Nate are the best. It's really awesome. We use e-carrier check daily. I have email campaigns, texting campaigns. I'm going after owner operators. I'm looking for brokers that have freight with customers I'm after. I'm looking for brokers to build lanes to send emails to that I know that are moving freight in a certain area that aren't on the load boards, because all the load boards aren't on the load boards. So how do we find them? If we go to FMCSA or Carrier 41, but it doesn't tell me a lot to do with them. Sometimes I have to learn from people that are pulling for them. Sometimes I have to find the customers and find the brokers through the customers. Sometimes I have to find the carriers. All these things are so important. You know what I mean? Like all of it in general. And then building the spreadsheets, making the phone calls, doing the follow ups, and then having the carriers there to be able to work with you with credit. You e-carrier check has all this stuff for you. The problem is we all everything comes back to me now. I want it now. I got a brokerage. I'm paying the bottom insurance. I need a fucking customer now. I need to move freight now. Nothing works now. It's not a good plan. Now is not a good plan. It never works. It doesn't. So e-carrier check, just everything that it has from the texting, the phone call, you can post a few loads on it to be able to call a carrier and say, Nelson, are you guys do you guys have customers or are you guys just a trucking company using load boards? Okay, I see you got 5 trucks in Iowa. Hey, a matter of fact, are you familiar with this customer? Because I already know you haul it because I see it on your spreadsheet on e-carrier check. Do you guys go on direct or are you just working with brokers? Oh, you're working with brokers. Do they keep you busy round trip, keep you moving? And and it really comes down to what's up, Jesse, man? How you been? You just missed Frank, Jesse. And it really comes down to like with us, we are two kinds of brokers. One, we got Dan and Isaiah that sell freight one way. And then if they can help you with a backhaul, they'll send it over to the team, but they're really worried about covering freight. Then you got me and Don, and you got Justin and James and William. Now we're the mindset that we're seeing the volume from our customers and the volume on the load board, and all we're trying to do is build as many freaking round trips as we can, a revolving door, and then we're going to take those round trips and we're going to sell them to the carriers. So I can build the lanes and find the carriers on e-carrier check to pull the freight, and that's where most of our carriers come from. We don't find many carriers by posting on DAT, and we don't really find many carriers by searching for carriers on DAT because the problem is most of the guys that are posting on DAT are literally one way. All they care about is the most money they can get, and it's one way. So if I can go find the guys on the posting or the guys on e-carrier check that live in the areas of where my freight's moving and coming, and I can find out their problems. It's the same way with customers. If I can't get volume or I can't find the carriers to do volume and get freight rotating, then I'm always doing it one and done. It takes more time and all that good stuff. And it's just so much harder. And even with the freight now, we've done one and done loads as we're building our credit, and we do volume. And I'm telling you, even with volume, you still have carriers that fall out. That's why you constantly have to keep adding new carriers that are looking for that volume, so that way you can have replacements for the ones. You can't just sit there and wait every day. And when the loads are covered and you get the freight moving, then you got to keep selling too. Everybody has to keep this revolving. That's why it's so complex to have a brokerage, a fucking dispatching, a trucking company, a compliance, and then you're doing all these components of everything else you need while you're still running this business: equipment financing, working capital. You need insurance. You're going to need an accountant. You need a compliance company. You need lease agreements, operations, hired. Same way with a brokerage. Everybody thinks I get a bond, I get insurance, I get contingency cargo. I get all this stuff ready to go in a pretty little fucking packet, and I go sit at my desk and make calls all day and sound like I'm Jesus saying I'm a broker on the phone, and it's just going to work. And it's not. It's so much more complex, especially in a market where 90% of the people that you're calling that are shippers, their volumes are down and everything's going, that they're asking for trucking companies, but trucking companies aren't going to receivers. This is the stupidest part of the industry. Like right now, we've called so many customers that if I had the trucking, because it's really different. Like you could chameleon a trucking company and hope that if I go to Jimmy's trucking and Jimmy gets set up with this customer I have, and they make it really hard with having faith in drivers and carriers, because it's almost better for me, Nelson, when I call a customer that says they only work with carriers, then you're going to say, well, great. If I was a carrier and you're needing carriers, then is that what you're saying? Oh, great. So if I was a carrier, what size would I need to get set up with you? What insurance would I need? Because I have some, but I just don't want to waste your time. What would I need? And then they tell me, so are you having trouble finding real carriers that fit what you need and what they want to run? Well, if I go find those guys and I bring them over, do you have a problem if I dispatch them? Because they can't find the customers anyways, and I can't take you through my brokerage. So if I give you 3 or 4 carriers and I'm the one finding their backhauls to get back to you to keep them with you, do you have a problem if I charge them on the side to make money and you can make sure they don't go around me? How hard is it to communicate? You guys really think it's that hard to ask a question? What are they going to do? Say, no, we just rather just give us a referral and take care of ourselves. Okay, fine. Help a carrier out and move on. Find a good carrier. Because if you give that lead to a good carrier that you can't manipulate, they're going to help you in the long run, especially if they make money off you. You understand? And there might even be potential. What kind of networking and what kind of stuff are you really doing with your business and your brokerage? What kind of mindset do you have? I mean, people, I just don't understand. And I see it every day because I'm watching mine work now. I'm not watching Cap Logistics, Corey. I'm not watching Maria. I'm not watching all the ones I helped get started that are running right now. I'm watching mine. It's a difference when you're teaching and people are building brokerages off your teaching and making money and fixing their credit, building a credit score. You know, we can help people with so many little things that change everything. This is back to the thing. You know, see, we're still helping people like crazy, but even in my business, I'm at rock bottom. I'm honest with you guys. Everybody's like, if you're a big influencer, you got all these businesses, you're a millionaire. I'm not a millionaire. Just because I have a Scooby Doo car, it's a 4-cylinder. It was the 20 some odd $1,000 one. It's not the 5.0 Cobra Shelby GTE Super Max fucking car. My F350, I paid on it for 6 years. My wife's car, she's paid off. I own a camper, not a house. I didn't plan on opening a taekwondo school. I plan on running all over the country teaching people and keeping my spaces down, but I kept trying to do great things for people. So now my livelihood's being dictated by another something that doesn't make money, but you get the joy of teaching people how to be better, confidence, hitting, being a leader. When you hit rock bottom, you have to look around and evaluate. Do I give up on the kids and close the school? Do I give up on the compliance company and the brokerage that we've all committed and worked so hard for in a year to get it going? And now it's running. It's just that we have 4 businesses at the top of the hill waiting to roll over. And we haven't even got investors. We haven't got no bank loans. Like literally, we're all invested time and some money. And it's almost there. And it's crazy. And the why it's there is because we always answer the phones. We're always available. Even whenever we had problems with Bob and different partners over the years, we're still there. But the biggest complication of drama that we ever had is between me believing in hating dispatching, not doing dispatching. I've never really hated dispatching. The problem is I hate seeing people get destroyed by bad dispatching or dispatching service. Like right now, when Roger Pennington called me the other day and told me how he busted a Dover broker from Ukraine or Bosnia or wherever it is, or Belarus or wherever the hell it's from. And whenever he busted that guy, seeing a guy from another country that has a database of MC numbers like crazy in their packets, to where he can go and use all those MC numbers and he has all those different logins that he can make so many bad reviews on your Facebook and your social media that it literally hurts your company just because he can, because he's doing something illegal already. And he's using past people's information to do these fraudulent things with, and they have a lot of them, like a lot of them. To know that kind of power is out there and people are giving away that power to people they don't even know, that's fucking stupidity to me. And you ask for what you get. So should I be gaining relationships on carriers other than the shippers? Right. So if you, the one, Nelson, if you go to shaggysconsulting.com, that's my website. It's right here on the screen floating through. If you go to shaggysconsulting.com, I have a website on there where you go to consulting and you click pick Shaggy's brain. What you need to do is schedule 2 or 3 hours. It's $100 an hour. I'll give you a half an hour for free. And we'll sit down and you give me a list of everything you think you know. And I'll show you what you don't know and what you should know. And if you need me to take you into my brokerage and show you rate tenders, loads, what it looks like to get a tender, put it all the way in, track and trace it all the way to the factoring company and get paid, I'll be glad to help you. If you need me to sit and do sales calls with you to customers so you stop sounding like my name is Nelson, I'm with Rashad's brokerage, and I'm wondering why all I do is get emails and stuff like that. Then, because the next question you're going to ask me is, well, when they give me the list, how do I bid it? And I'm going to be like, well, what trucks do you have that approved your credit in the first, that'll even work with you? And you know what I mean? All that stuff to do it, or were you just going to throw it on a load board? Like, what are you going to do? If you get the customers and they give you a spreadsheet, how are you even going to get it moved? What guys are committed to all for you? I mean, you got 3,000 brokers, packets of carriers that are set up, and not one of them is where your customer is, and not one of them has approved your fucking credit yet. Does that sound like a good fucking plan? Yes, you have to have carriers. You need assets, and you need people committed to it. Then you better figure out when you're new how you're going to help those carriers get back to your customer. Then you need to understand the difference between relationship carriers that want three things and the ones that just want and done and they want a freight chase, because there's a huge difference. And then you got to understand how you're going to protect yourself from dispatching services when you're moving your freight. So, what I would do is I would get set up with some one-on-ones on my website, Shaggy Consulting. Sit down with me, because obviously if you're asking these questions, you need to learn a lot more, because you're going to get fucked. We're not even talking, you're talking about this part. Let's talk about the liability, the claims. When a guy gets ran over by a train, or he gets blown up, blows a radiator hose, or run over to the porta potty, or run over to the neighbor's property. What are you going to do when you have to hold that liability and that money, and your driver goes back to work because his insurance company takes 90 days, and you have to sit there and hold it? Do you have that money set aside to keep working, especially when your quick pay gets shut off with your factoring company with that customer? I mean, everybody wants to do it, but the brokerage is really harder than the trucking to get going. Trucking is so much faster, but in the long run, brokerage could be so much more lucrative. But it all depends on how big do you want to be. Do you want to hire employees? Do you want to have more stress of families to feed beside yourself? Do you want to have your wife every morning come in and ask why you have 9 people and everybody's in a business, and she knows that you can go make the money that you need to cover what you're losing while you're rebuilding, but at the same time you have a dream to build a team, but you're killing yourself while you do it? Isn't that like most of the stories of people out here? Because forget what we're really valuable ourselves, and we need to take care of ourselves first, because everybody that's involved with you, do you think they're not going to take care of themselves first? No matter what your relationship is. So when you hit rock bottom, your trucking company's messed up, you did something wrong, you just didn't know, it's not your fault. We get caught up. Time management, lack of education, no one else. Some people really are good at building business, have great credit, can drive a truck, hire drivers, whatever, but we still don't communicate. No one said you had to be good at everything, did they? Uh, So I love being knowledgeable in this business. I love helping people. I love doing what we do. I love my team. I love everything we have going on. It's just patience and getting somewhere to see the results is rough. We don't have patience. Everybody wants it now. Guys, I really love you to death. It's been 48 minutes. We're 3 minutes past our time. I hope you guys have a really great day today. If you guys need help with networking, you guys need help with dispatching, and you want a real dispatcher, and I get it. Some of you guys right now, you're so caught up. Sometimes you need to get an experienced dispatcher just to get you out of the hole you're in so you can get back on track. That's one of the greatest things about our dispatching and our trucking company we'll have, is because we'll never hold anybody back. The whole time we're dispatching you, if you want me to show you what you're doing, we want you to help you add on owner operators. We want you to help with the lease agreements. That's what I want to do. I don't want to just dispatch. I want to build. And then I want to build your company. And if I could use your company to pull my freight, or I can use your company to help you learn how to pull your freight, or we can work together. That's the team. It's taken me a long time to get this team. The devotion. Some of the guys on my team have been here fighting with me for nothing while they work their jobs building this program since September. Even in my own business, I forget. You can't build a team if you're not taking care of yourself. And even with myself, I forget. If I charge 6% for dispatching, or I charge $300 a week, flat fee, whatever, to help a carrier, it's still 5 trucks times three is $1,500, $2,000 a week. What's up, man? We don't need them. Bills, just throw them away. No, just kidding. We don't read them anyway. We don't read them anyways. Do what you want. I know, I'm just playing. Um, yeah, later, brother. But anyways, it's the same thing. And just think about your plan. Think about who's the most important part to your family. Remember about being proactive, God, and faith. Stick to your vision and remember you're the only leader. And don't forget to take care of yourself before all those other guys. Why shouldn't you make money? Why are your drivers make more than you? This goes, should you do a contract for what, Nelson? There's no such, most, until you have like a year in business to 3 or 4 or 5 years in business, you're probably not ever going to see a contract, Nelson. Unless you get lucky. And then there's no one never. You probably won't see a contract for a while because if you talk to any of the brokers that are watching right now, they'll tell you 90% of the people we deal with, if they don't give you like a traffic package with a legitimate statement of what are stuff that they want, then pretty much all you're doing is exchanging a couple pieces of paper, and it's a verbal agreement through an email of a tender, and you're credit checking, hoping to God it works all right. I don't know where you guys get all this contract stuff. Now, if you're talking about 1099 employees and all that stuff, by all means, you should have a contract plus a non compete. And really, more and more I do this brokerage, I don't know where this 70-30 agent shit ever came from. Like maybe if a guy has his own book, he finds his own trucks and all that, I get the 70-30. But when you guys are doing all this employee training, come work for me, the whole mentality of this free for all where people are sitting in the office for free doing stuff and stuff like that, you better have some really good people like I do to do stuff like that, to work with you and help you build a dream. Because most of these guys, they don't want to do the work and it's one and done. That's why everybody has so many revolving doors going on. It's not fun. Because, I mean, you got to think about it, right? You move a load, you make 10%. Well, 3% goes to your factoring, 2% goes to the quick pay. You're already out 5, right? So then you got to pay for insurance. You got to pay for software. You got to pay for carrier for one, e-carrier check. You got to pay all this stuff. So now you might have $700 a month, right? So you divide that across whatever, and it costs like this much, like $34 just for me to ride a Raycon. All this stuff costs, right? So then you divide that up every day. So now you're looking at your measly 5% profit, 10% profit that you got, and you should have did 12. Then you got to figure out how I make 12% off profit and get a carrier to pull the load at the same time and get the customer to take the rate. Of course they can steal your fucking customer. If you keep asking me all the questions that you're asking, unless you're just giving me to talk to help me with questions, but if you keep asking these crazy questions like that, you have a lot to learn. This is what I'm saying. I would do a one-on-one with me or come in and do some training because there's lots of stuff you're going to miss. And they will steal your customer. Like I'm telling you right now, if you call me up, Nelson, in my office right now, and anybody that hears this, if you call me up and you say, "Hi, my name is Nelson, and I got this customer I'm working with," everybody else, a lot of people they're going to be like, "Well, one's that pick up, one's that deliver. What's the weight? What's the commodity? And then what are you paying on it?" Or you're going to ask, "How much will you do it for?" That's what you should be at. You should be getting them to give a rate first. It sets the scale where they're at and how you're going to mess with them. So, I mean, because if you give your rate, then you might as well just stand your ground, and that's what it is. I always love to have them tell me what they want to do or what is their average. It shows me how smart they are. Because if they're really stupid off the wall, they're one thing, and they don't go. And there's so much more I could teach you, right? About the difference in the carriage. You have to know if they're freight chasing or low. There's a lot of stuff. So unless you start working on it to build lanes now. So when you start, you have a better chance of success. That is the best truth. It's so hard to build the lanes when you need the freight now. It takes time. People can't do it. It's hard. How do you do it when you're driving a truck? Charles, I was hearing you shut it off. You're late.
I figured I'm always late somewhere.
Yeah, Frank just left.
Yeah,
What
I seen him. He
comment
was
or
on
what?
there.
What do you got to comment? You want to talk to everybody? Say something. I know you didn't pop on just for the hell of it.
No, I left a comment in there. I said when you were sitting there talking about, you got a guy in there that's wanting to. He's just starting wanting to do the contracts, and he said it take him 4 or 5 years. What I was going to say was, unless you start before you're working on everything to build it to start your own authority and everything to get into it. Start building your lanes now with your customers. Get your customers. Start building your lanes so
So
that
you're
way when you
saying
do go in,
so you're
you can
saying go
have
to
a
the
contract.
customers before.
Huh?
So you're saying get out and go to the customers before you even build anything.
Yeah. Start building a lane. Tell them, hey, I'm in the
You're
process. I'm
telling me
getting my
that they
truck.
don't talk to you before you're even active and you even have anything going on.
Yeah. You'll still. That's the best way to get your foot in the door on something because someone can actually sit there and go, sure, I'll give you a chance. You get it. I'll give you an open. I'll give you a run. I'll let you have this lane, and I'll try you out. I'll give you a couple months to see how you like it. If you don't, then hey, at least you were honest. You come
We
to
were
me.
just, we were just
Start.
ready to talk about Nelson saying, "Will they steal your shipper?" And I was getting ready to tell him, "Well, I can tell you, I'm done being everybody's friend, right?"
Yep.
So if you call my office with James or me or Justin or William, and you say, "Hi, my name is Charles, and I'm calling from this brokerage, Bundy Logistics, and the reason I was calling is to see you got a truck located, and we're bidding this new customer or quoting this new customer, or we have this new customer at Lanes." You say any shit like that, and it's in my area, then immediately the next thing I'm going to do is say, "Hey, Charles, are you guys just a broker or are you a carrier?"
I'm gonna say I'm a carrier too.
Oh, you are? Are you the only broker that works in that customer, or are you guys, or vice versa? Did you get it on your trucking side, or do they just work with brokers?
No, I got it on the carrier side. I went to
So
and
then,
talked to them, told them that I was starting it.
so what do you guys do with the overflow? And are you is this consistency? I'm going to go into consistency because he's already telling me that he's a relationship kind of guy. So I'm going to go to the relationship way first because we maybe end up friends, right? Because you may have
Mm-hmm.
volume, but as soon as you go one ended and you don't have volume no more, and I'm interested in that thing, the next thing we're doing it if we don't go anywhere. Or here's the thing for you, I'm telling you right now, if we go through the whole conversation and you give me everything, and then you tell me, oh, I'm sorry we don't use people in the first 90 days, right? Or 6 months on your
Yeah,
authority. My next question is that a company policy or is that a customer policy?
that would be a customer policy.
Oh, but how many do you really think it's a customer policy or a company policy? A lot of those times it's a broker policy because they don't want to deal with the stupidity from the new guys, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So if he tells me it's not a customer policy and he gave me all the details and the problems the customers are, what is the odds if I make the second call, I may get lucky?
You probably end up getting lucky.
Is that better than Nelson calling up being like, "Hi, I'm a broker and I just got my brokerage authority 2 months ago. And when I send you my shit, it's going to show you I'm new. And I really don't know what you're hauling. I don't know what lanes you're having trouble with. I don't know if you work with brokers or carriers right now. Matter of fact, I don't even know what you need, but I wish you would tell me, right? Can you take a whole bunch out of your day and just tell me everything you need when I'm brand new and I just started last month?"
No, you would have to work it around to make it to where
Do
you
you really
want to
think
talk
that
to
they're
them
going
to
to
where
act?
you, yeah.
Do you really think they're going to open up like, "You're
No,
sure? Here, let me just tell you how it all works.
no,
I'm
no, 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 no.
and
They
then
ain't gonna
I'll
tell you. No, they're not gonna give you open up to you and give you all that information. You got to sit there and work them. You got to be able to come in there with the smarts of knowing what you're dealing with, know what lanes that they're doing. Do the research. The research will tell you what lanes they're running, what
yeah.
kind of volume that they're doing, and then you check, and then you sit there and go, all right, I got the knowledge. I can go and talk to this guy, and he now knows that I know what they know. And then he can open up and say, hey, well, since you already know, you know what we're doing, what we're about, what we're needing. All right, we can work from there. And then you build your relationship from it.
It's like, can you imagine? Like, literally, I'm back into dispatching right now, and every time a broker goes, Jonathan Trimble, he's laughing. He's like, Nelson, do you want me to just do that work for you? Can you do that for me too? Oh, I might as well. I mean, you're already in the business and you're a broker. And are you asking these questions because you're going to be a broker? Or are you asking these questions because you don't want to? I mean, you know what I mean?
Or is he asking the questions just to be wise so he knows if a broker's scamming him or not?
It's like, how are they struggling in lanes? Well, obviously they're calling you and they need a truck.
Yes, that means they're struggling in that lane. They can't keep enough trucks to keep it busy, which means they got product, but they ain't got enough trucks or carriers to take care of it. So they're calling you to say, "Hey, we're willing to take the gamble. We need trucks." Then you can sit and go, "Oh well, hey, I got me and I got a couple other trucks. You need more trucks? I can bring me and a couple others with me."
It's just like you're sitting here. We were talking to a customer the other day, and Justin's brain's clicking because these customers keep saying they need assets. And it's like, okay, so I just called you. I'm a broker. You need assets. Well, I can find you assets, but we
Yeah,
don't want to work with you. Why do you want to work with me? Because we have our own payment system and we can do that just fine. We just need the trucks. And you're like, okay, so what kind of trucks do you need? If I go give you the phone numbers of the exact carriers you need that can handle your volume, and they even like the rates that you want, and I set them up with you, it's funny. You're like, you mind if I charge them a dispatching fee because the dumb motherfuckers won't know how to get back to you?
yeah,
They're really like, we don't really care as long as we pay them when they're here. Okay, well, the only problem I have with this, if I go find these next 5 trucking companies with 10 trucks and 20 trailers, are you going to let them backdoor me if I do all the work that you didn't do and your brokers aren't doing? Once I bring them to you and sign up, where I could charge them because you're my customer, even though you're working with them. And it's like, does that even work? Well, then why are all these brokerages and all these dispatching going into these carriers and they're leveraging their the logistics for them by controlling the trucks?
yeah. It's it's almost like sitting there saying, "Hey, I want you to give me what you have for carriers." And how would I want to put that? The way I want to word it. It's almost like stealing your customers, but then they get them. They called you for them, but then saying, "Screw you! I ain't gonna let you do what you need to do because they're your customers."
What's the
You know,
difference?
they're actually not customers; they're your clients. But we're not gonna, you know,
But
because
what's
they
the
can't get the
difference of working for
clients
the?
on themselves because they're being lazy. They
But
don't want to do the work to go get them. They want you to do it for them.
what's the difference of having 30, 40, 50 brokers, right? And then you're sitting there in the broker, you're signed up in their non compete, but you can't give them a non compete, right? So you go out and land a customer that's in there, you're one of these brokers' database that you hold a different customer load for, right?
Hmm.
And the customer basically hands it to you and you take it from them. But the broker finds out, they get all pissed off. But you didn't have nothing to do with it. You were just in a back solicitor agreement. Now they're hurt because you took one of their customers, or vice versa. Flip the script. How is it any different? It all comes back down to service, getting the job. Just like when a carrier, like one of your buddies, has 4, 5, 10 trucks. Well,
Yeah,
any of these customers 3 years ago, when these guys all got customers, carriers could find a customer like that because there's more freight than trucks. But they only had 4 or 5 trucks. So then they were able to do what they could do, and they did a really good job. Hell, they got Christmas presents for the customers because they were great. The very next year, the customers sent them a message going, "Hey, Charles, yeah, hey, Shaggy's company came in and they're doing those other 74 loads. Yeah, they're getting them moved like crazy, and they're doing it a little cheaper than you, and they can do yours too. Is there any way you could come down on your rate?"
well, if you want the quality that you were getting from us
Yeah,
and get it on time,
I get it. Sometimes it's business equality, but see, our
yeah,
job, we're not good at getting trucks. We just
no,
make a product and we need people that can help us get the job done and we don't have no problems. So can you do that? You don't have a brokerage, do you?
no.
You don't get along with other carriers besides Facebook, right?
Besides Facebook, no. I mean, I
I'm just
to the
making a
law.
point, right? I'm making
Yeah,
a
yeah,
point because we
yeah.
don't know what the
Well,
fuck you do we?
yeah. So
But we
you're
have
gonna
no
have to,
trucks. You're already an investor and a business owner and you still don't know what to do and you wonder why you're getting ass handed to them.
yeah.
I've seen it happen so many times, and because people didn't think ahead and they thought it was going to last forever. It's like, dude,
Yeah, and it won't. In this market that we have
any
for the
market,
trucking industry,
any market,
it
we've all seen it.
changes. It changes almost daily.
You
It
can have
changes.
5 brokers in Indy, 5 brokers in St. Louis, and it's always going to come back to where they're going to tell you, "Oh man, we got to drop the rate, or we got to do this, or the rate's going. We can pay you more now. We need it a little more urgent, or our volume's low." It always happens. It no
Yeah,
matter if it's COVID or whatever. We go through these cycles. It's called a
yeah,
process. And what happens is the produce seasons go down, the meat season goes this season diversifies, the oil industry changes, and
yep,
all the influxes change everything. It's going to always happen. You have to be prepared for it.
yeah. You just have to make sure you're diversified and being able to handle the switch when you need to, and see it coming.
Oh yeah.
Not just oh well, hey, we're kind of so yeah. I've noticed that, and yeah. I mean, I understand you're slowing down. You want to let off a couple trucks because you ain't got the volume for me. Not a problem. I got work for my guys, but I'll still keep the couple that need to take care of your volume that you have now. And then when you need more and you start getting more volume, call me. I'll
I
add
think
more trucks
I
back
think
to
a
you.
lot of that is not that. It's a lot of it comes down to whenever the things change like that. Because when the rates are going up, carriers don't benefit the customers either. They want more.
Yeah,
When the rates go down, you're mad at them.
yeah,
But when you control both ways and you control the trucks and the extra freight, then you already keep the rates where they need it because you're consistent. You're not running into this problem.
yes. You can keep them consistent, and you can keep your drivers busy too because you're diverse into several different things. So you know what I'm saying? To
And no,
where
Google
it,
will not tell you. Google and all the research in the world, there's no place that tells you if they're struggling.
no,
Oh
no,
no, there is a place, but it takes 4 or 5 different things to do to find it.
is there?
Yeah, one is posting, one is load boards, one is e-carry check, and there's a couple other things you do. And when you do that, you find out who's moving their freight, what they're having trouble with. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And sometimes to find out the information, I have to call Charles and be sneaky.
yeah,
Because Charles already, I know Charles works for the customer, but I don't know where Charles is getting the freight from. Is Charles going directly to the customer, or is he getting it from a broker? I don't know. Because a lot of guys out there don't give away their secrets.
no,
Especially
and
if
they don't. Yeah, because
if
they
I,
don't want someone else moving in on the territory.
but nowadays it's harder because I have a software system that tells me who you're hauling for, and when I have
Yeah,
the power to know who you're hauling for before I call you, and I call up Charles, and say, "Hey Charles, hey man, I noticed you got 5 trucks over in Tennessee. Is that you?
yeah.
Hey, are you guys still working with brokers? Or you guys have customers, or do you have customers and brokers?
Uh, Customers and brokers.
Are you guys cool with what you got, or are you looking to add more?
Probably looking to add more, keep
Have you
us
ever,
busy.
have you ever heard of these 5 customers or 10 customers? Even though I know you, 3 of them you actually know, and I'm going to name them off to you.
Mm,
Have you?
yes.
Are you working direct with all of them, or would you like to?
Like to work direct with all of them,
So, which ones are you familiar with?
which would be the three,
Which ones?
as in,
The ones you're familiar with that I told you.
uh,
Are you familiar with the? I gave you 10 customers that are in your area. Which ones do you know? Are you familiar with?
I'm familiar with three of them, but
What are the names of them? Then which ones did I name off that you're familiar
well, you got Averett, you got
with? It's like Newcore, whatever. Still
Big
that,
Daddy, yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
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 so you're good with those?
Big M, Big
Those the
G.
ones you're
Yeah.
actually working direct with right now, handling volume, or the ones you wish you would?
The ones I'm working with wish would they would.
Oh, so you want to get into these customers? Because
Yes,
that's what I do is I do sales and I help carriers and I have a brokerage too. And some of these customers are on my list, but you've hauled for them, right?
yeah, I hauled for some of them. Yes,
No. Well, I was always trying to figure out how they move their freight. Did you work with brokers when you hauled for them?
on two of them I worked on brokers, and the other one I actually got straight contact with them.
Oh,
So
so
I'm
the two that you work with brokers. So you just gave me an idea. You just told me the one customer does work with small assets. That's what you just told me.
yes,
But you didn't know what to do with it because you only have 5 trucks and not a broker. See how that works?
Yeah.
So
I
number
see what you're saying.
so
Yeah.
number two, you're getting ready to tell me the name of the brokerage that you got the freight from because I can't find the brokerage that's handling the problems of that customer, right?
I got you.
So my
Yeah.
next call is going to be that brokerage, and I'm going to say, "Hey, who works with this customer? I know
Yeah.
some carriers that are already hauling for you." And then I'm going to ask him a series of questions, and they're going to give me what I need, right?
Yep.
Because remember, most customers don't post most brokers don't post their customers' problems on the load boards. They only look for trucks, and trucks don't even
Yeah.
tell them what they need. Isn't that stupid?
Yeah. Yeah. They want you to call them so that you can sit there and then they can tell you what they need. And that way they already got you
They
hooked.
need
You're
you to-
already in the deal with the broker. Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. Instead of telling you exactly what's going on, what they need, and what area they're running, what lane they needed to be moved in. Yeah.
Yeah.
They want to sit there and get you hooked into a deal or contract before you get to know what's going on.
But when I post my truck with direction out 30 to 60 times, these people keep calling me with volume I've never even heard of or seen on the load board. Like literally, even TQL will call me when I post with direction specific from one place to the
Mhm.
next and offer me money that they don't offer whenever I call them.
Really?
It's the stupidest shit ever. And believe it or not, even TQL, they won't guarantee it. But did you know even TQL, when you get one of those ding dong reps over there, will still smart enough to give you the same load every week just to cover their customer?
No,
So
I didn't realize that.
like others where they'll give you the relationship. But did you know if you find one that they know they have, they are stupid enough to call the customer and say, I got a carrier to do this all the time, and they'll feed you all the time. Now, not to say they'll hold the rate consistently because they're cheap sons of bitches, but
Yeah.
it's
But
amazing that
instead of
but
consistent loads. Yeah.
the idea, what are we looking for? What do we want? What is our product and how do we find it? There's a
Yeah.
huge difference in going everywhere than but specifically one thing. Don't you agree?
Yeah. Yeah.
When you're looking for one simple product all the time and adding more of it, that's different than always going everywhere wondering what everybody else is leaving on the table and what brokers are keeping, right?
Yeah. Because you want to be able to look and see what people are leaving on the table because it's more profitable for you because you're actually being smarter on the business end where someone else is leaving it on the table. You can actually pick it up
But a 15,
and actually open another door for you to have another customer.
but anybody that you know that does contractor consistency, do they even know such word as market rate or backhaul? It's all round trip. It's an
Yeah.
average.
Yeah.
What pays my bills, is it not?
Yes.
If they go, those guys know if they make money going one way and they make a load coming back without deadheading for free, unless it pays for them to do it, at
Yeah.
the end of the week they know it's an average. They're not out there. Are they literally out there going, well, if you don't pay me $4 a mile going and coming on every load I haul, I'm not working with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is that how it
They're,
works?
they're, they're they're knowing that they got the consistent going out. And then they'll find something coming back, and then they'll sit there and pick that up,
And
and,
once
and
they time
just to get them back home because they're
out.
making the money.
But if they got $4, $3.50, whatever coming out, and they go to a place where it's $1.90 coming back, and that guy's got one every day he's sitting there. When he gets there to get empty, that's called networking, right?
Yes.
So they're not worried about what the other people are doing or crying when things change. They're getting their rates, and that's what they need across the board, right?
Yep. Yeah, and they're getting it where they got a load, so they're not having to sit there and wait or look at a load board. They already got something sitting there. It's drop, go load, haul back. And the quicker you can get loaded, and the quicker you can get back, grab the next load and take it back out, more money you make in the week.
I
So if
get.
it takes you 2 days to get out there, 2 days coming back, and you can grab another load to be able to get back out there again.
And
Hey,
you wonder why everybody leaves on Monday, gets in California on Wednesday, comes back home on Friday, preloads, leaves out Sunday again, right?
yep,
Every week.
yeah, and they're still getting their home time. Yeah,
I don't understand why it's such a weird concept. It never made sense to me why you would ever want to buy a truck, open an authority to be a slave.
no, because you don't want to be a slave. The reason why you opened it was because you wanted to be your own boss, and you can have your time on how you want to put your time off, what you want to do, how much money you want to make, how you want it to work out to where you're in control, but you're not losing control.
The stupidest stuff I hear all the time is, yeah, I want to open a trucking business and I don't mind staying out 30 to 60 days or 90 days at a time to make that money. You're like, but I thought you became this person to not be a slave. Then you ask him, are you married with kids?
Yeah.
Don't you like them?
Yeah. Love my kids and wife.
Yeah. So are we preparing for like Charles when they go to the doctor that day and find out something bad? Is our mindset like that? Or are we just
No, no, they're not.
right?
No, they're looking at what the bottom line is for the week. They're not planning for something like what happened or anything like that.
Dude, I could sit here and name off 8 stories just in the last 2 years of good friends of mine that had the same thing as you. I was telling it the other day. Some got a month, some got 6 months, some made it, some overlapped it. It's what is the reality of when you get caught up and hit that bottom or that brick wall? You know, and you got to turn around. We're all in the same boat.
I'm the one thing like with me, I've always been able to adapt and overcome and figure out another way of doing what I need to do because I've always had to do it all my life because of the with the handicap of missing the arm. I've always had to prove something to everybody, and doing that at a young age and working through trucking, I have got the mindset. So when I got this found out, this got told, I said, nah, guess what? It's not going to control my life. I'm going to be able to overcome and still do what I want to do and do it on my time and still be able to get things done because I'm not going to sit back here and cry like a little baby going, I got cancer and I don't know what to do with myself. I guess I'm going to sit here at the house and just be a bum and rot away. No, 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 I can't do that. I've worked all my life. I can't sit at home. I cannot sit here and let something beat me. I didn't let anything else beat me. You know, when DOT and them told me you can't get a CDL, got a CDL. Oh, you can't drive. Oh, was able to drive. Um, hey, you can't run equipment. Let me show you how to do this. I've sat there and proved to people that I can run an excavator, loader, dozer, all one handed. And I keep telling them, I said, what you could do with 2 hands, I can do with one. So what's your excuse? And that's my answer to a lot of different things. If I can do it one handed, what's your excuse not being able to do it with two?
Yeah, it's the same
I
way I say,
have a lot of people, and it's like I have a lot of people tell me, well, how can you drive a stick? I said, easy. Put your mind to it. Don't let it beat you. I mean, there's ways around it. You just got to figure out how to work your mind. Basically, take your arm, tie it up to your chest, and leave your steering wheel between the steering wheel and the shifter is the same distance as between your elbow and your wrist. You can sit there and hold the steering wheel with your elbow and still have full control and still be able to shift and go through all your gears to your furthest gear without taking your hand off the steering wheel.
don't lie. You only did that when you needed a test. The rest of the time you're driving with your knees shifted with your
No,
arm. Don't
sir. No,
lie.
sir.
I know plenty.
No.
I
But you
know.
see what I'm saying? See
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
But you could have.
It, I
You still
could
got
have,
the job
but
done.
it just wasn't me. I mean, it didn't feel right. I wanted to be able to have my hand on the steering wheel and still be able to shift gears.
I always find it interesting that drivers take it easy and time off when the market is doing incredibly well. And when the market is absolute garbage, that's when they want to go back to work. It should be the opposite way. Love it how all those same drivers are now bitching and moaning about current market. Honestly, I just want to tell them that
Yep.
I agree. I'm like to the point
Yep.
like literally you're like, you're dumb. Like that's dumb. Like that's dumb. Like you didn't even like the dumbest part about it is these people are coming in the industry doing the stuff that we're doing. And if we had any other job, we wouldn't get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
Any other fucking job, we wouldn't get away with it. And they're
No, no,
military
no.
people,
You to
they're
be
government
either
people,
reprimanded or being fired. Yeah.
factory workers, you'd be fired.
Yeah.
But you do it right here.
Yeah. One of the I would say it's not the easiest. But one of the better easy-going jobs, and we got drivers that make it so rough and so hard that they tell you it's confusing, you can't make it, you can't do this, you can't do. If you can sit there and put your mind to it and do it right, take all the information that you need to get, not just, oh, I need to get my authority, I need to get my IFCA and all this and Port Authority and all that crap. Put that aside. If you're going to make a successful business, a la trucking, go in full board, do your research before you start your authority and start doing your paperwork, you're getting your filings done.
What about if
And
we're
buy a truck. Make sure you pick the right truck for what you're doing, what you want to get into. If you want to get into flatbed, make sure you get the right truck that has the right gearing, the right motor, fuel economy that is set up for that job. A lot of these guys are buying these trucks, they're buying them used. They're not even set up. There might be set up hauling dry van. And hell, they're out here trying to pull tankers with them and doing it. You got to get the truck for one. When you go to buy one, make sure it's set up for what you want to do. And then also make sure that it's also able to diverse to something else if need to be a change. So you're not having to do a whole lot of reconfiguring or saying, oh, well, I got a truck that ain't no good. It's only strictly for this. And now I got to go get another truck. And
same
then
way
you're
with the
out
trailer?
money. And then you want to make sure you
What
do
about
all your research.
what about the freight?
Yeah. And
What
when the
about
freight changes,
the trailer? Most people,
yeah,
their idea is the type of trailer is what pays the most.
yes. Yeah.
That's not how it
And then
works.
you check out your trailers. Yeah. But if you're going to start out and you're going to run under your authority and just be a power unit, make sure whatever you're going to do that truck for, if it's going to be a power unit, make sure it's set up for the things that you're going to be hooking up to. I mean, I've seen these guys go from sitting there, all right, I'm a power unit, you're
How do you
pulling
get
a trailer with a bunch of trailers coming back because you're just transporting new trailers. And then all of a sudden you're hooking up to a power module for the power half a city, and the truck can't handle it because it ain't meant for the weight that giant V16 cat motor that's in there that's powering half a hospital or a city. And here you are pulling along. Well, man, I ain't getting no fuel mileage. I've already done broke the spring, blew a tire. Damn, I just dropped the drive line. I don't know why.
Is that are you
Because,
talking about doing oversized one of those orange Schneider trucks that's governed with a 430 motor that takes 15 exits to get up to 45 miles an hour?
oh, hell no, I ain't doing that.
Well, that's what
No,
I was
I'm
talking
going to get a truck that's spec'd for what I'm going to be hauling. If
about.
I'm going to be doing oversized, I want to make sure that thing has a 3406 in it or a
But a
nice
custom
Detroit
truck,
with an
man,
18
go
speed
in.
with 336s in it so it's able
No,
to pull the weight and
this
get the fuel out of it.
this one's orange. I love orange. I can put my clown pictures on the side of it. It's got a 70-inch sleeper, comes with a generator and a fridge. Man, it's not. I only got to put 4,000 down.
No, you are not going to be pulling an RGM with a freaking Cascadia or with a damn
I got 50
T680. It's
miles an
not
hour.
going to do it.
Thing. They'll finance me. How could you get right in the trucking?
Yeah, but you can get in the truck, but you ain't going to be able to get the work that you're looking for. They're
Shit,
going
this
to look at you and look at your truck and go,
like
well, one, you ain't got the distance between the cab and the fifth wheel.
you're
You're going to be overweight on your axles.
so full of shit. I just go to this place in St. Louis. This guy gave me a list of materials I need to put the stuff on this deck. He said they got some riser things you use and some lifters. And so we got to get some dunnage and pipe things and like 18 chains and so many straps and stuff for it. And maybe some tarps. But I don't really like tarp because I've never done it before. But he
Yeah,
told
well,
me, they told me we're
well,
going
when the first time you go across the scale and you go to weigh your truck, and then you wonder why, man, I don't know why I'm 8,000 pounds over on my last rear drive. I don't know why. Well, can you move your fifth wheel? Well, no, I can't because I ain't got no
to
room. I'm axed.
$4 a mile too. It's big. We take these are big oversized loads too. This guy's paying me
Yeah.
good. $4 a mile for loads that take like 2 weeks to get there. Isn't that good?
No, no, no. $4 a mile for that? Hell no. You're crazy.
Yeah.
You can burn that up just in fuel and mate and wear and tear because you got to count in. You're going to have blow tires, depending on the weight.
They do all the permits in there. All I gotta do is hook up and go. And yeah, it's a
Oh,
week, 3-day training class. Yeah,
really?
done it.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I couldn't trust you in my truck. I'm sorry, couldn't
I
do it.
like it too. And then just to top it off, we're going to be running like the Santa Ana area. All our loads are coming out of the windiest area ever out there, you know?
Oh, no, no,
And
no,
they're
no,
all
no,
8-footers.
no, nope. Sorry, nope. Sorry.
This is how my day goes sometimes. It's like, I had an idea.
But if you got an idea, you got to make sure everything is set up for what you want to do. Make sure you know what you want to do to get into.
You know what's funny too is whenever you got a guy and he's got his idea and you're sitting here telling him this
I'll,
is an
I'll,
idea.
I'll explain one real quick.
You give them like 3 or 4 more ideas and you can hear the meanness in their voice because you're fucking up their plan and you're making
Mhm.
sense. But
You're
they're not.
making sense and it's screwing it up. Yeah, it's not getting through the skull. Yeah,
But
they know it's there because it's
why do
bouncing
you
off.
let me come in
I
every?
got a
Tell
I
me
got a
why
friend of mine
you
that
come in.
bought a truck. That bought a truck. All right, he bought a. It's an international. Bought a truck. Said, "Oh yeah, I got a good deal on this truck. We're gonna go haul freight. All right, we're gonna put this truck out there. We're gonna make money. I can hook it up. Okay, not a problem. Never owned a trucking company, but he has family that owns trucks. Didn't get with a broker. Ain't with a broker. He decided to get on DHS and get on a couple others on the load board, trying to work it out. Um, bought an old Walmart truck, old Walmart International truck. Don't it does not have the right gearing for it to pull mountains. It's set for regional. Um, he had the truck running. I think it lasted, 2 months out on the road. He ended up having to replace a rear end in it because of the weight loads that they were doing because he started doing flatbed with it. Um, there was a couple other issues with the truck, and if he wanted it to do what he's wanting it to do, he's got to change the transmission, got to change the gear ratios in the rear ends. I told him, I said, "You got all this stuff." I said, "How much did you pay for the truck?" "Well, I got it for a good deal. It had brand new tires on it, but I picked it up for 35,000." I said, "You bought a truck that is not built for what you needed to do. For 35 grand, you got a good deal. If you want to run it local, that's a perfect truck. It's a Walmart regional truck. Their trucks didn't go very far." I said,
That's
"There's the problem. And plus, you didn't hook up. You got a factoring company now that's charging you out the yin yang because you didn't get that set up right." I said, "Then you ain't got a brokerage. You're running off a load board, and you want the drivers to run off a load board, and then you're getting screwed. You're not making enough money." Yeah, yeah. Right now, he's got the truck up for sale. Yep. Ain't even. He's had it. I think he had the truck. He's had the truck now a year and a half. A year and a half, almost 2 years, and it probably ran maybe 5 months, and he shut it down. Boy, and he couldn't keep drivers in it. It's got a 10 speed. Truck don't go very fast. It's only regulated
so this is the
65
question.
or
This
68.
is the question. So if you want to sit at home and you want to be a trucking in a day and age, it's you have two decisions: be a slave or be a feeder. Are you going to be an eater or a feeder? Eater or a feeder?
I'm
Eater
gonna
or
be an eater because I'm gonna eat everything I can get my hands on and make sure I'm being
see
able to do it.
see that's the mentality of the problem you just missed, Charles. Are you going to be a person that has a social media platform, that has a trucking company that provides stuff to owners? See, when you go and you buy a truck, whether he bought a truck or not, he bought a truck, and the very first thing he did was put a driver in it.
Yeah,
And now he's got to pay a driver in a truck. So when that truck doesn't run, the first question is, where does your money come from? If
yeah,
you're not going to get in and run the truck, then you should have never bought a truck. You should have brought on, got the product, built the lanes, and brought on owner operators.
yep. He had a driver. He owns it. He owns another business, and a driver from over there convinced him to buy a truck. Said, "I'll run it. We can make money."
So he
So
owns
he
a
bought the truck. So he bought the truck, and that driver left and went to somewhere else. And then he got stuck trying to find another driver. He don't have a CDL. He's he knows about the truck, but he's never driven
Still have
a
the
truck, and that's the problem.
his authority still active,
Yes,
and he still has the truck.
still has the truck, and it's sitting.
Call me.
All right,
Unless he's quit. If he's totally quit, then don't tell him to call me. But if he hasn't quit, tell him to call me.
all right.
Because
Yeah,
you are
because I know he's kind of hurting.
hard
So
time in it because he has to run the other business. So I'm sure he's tinkering. And number two, he's stuck with something he didn't expect.
yeah, yeah.
I've got a question for you before we go
What's
because it's an hour and 30 minutes, but I'm not going to give you your time since you graced us with your awesome presence. And then
that?
we'll
You're
be on for another 45 minutes.
no,
So the
no.
show,
I am not a broker.
no, well, tell them
I
what
am, I am not a broker.
you do.
I do construction. Well, I was doing construction. Now
Well,
I
on
do
the
apartments.
trucking side of it.
On the trucking side, I was a truck driver.
For how many years?
25.
Yep. And what else do you do? Mechanics?
Yes, I do mechanics.
What else do you do in trucking? You go to all the truck shows and see everybody?
Yep, I do truck shows. I do a bunch of other stuff. I get with people. I try to give them advice, try to help them out when I can. Uh, I never.
Here's a good question for you. Because you're a fucking trucker.
How do you know how to be a broker when you're not? Really easy. If you're a truck driver, you understand what's going on. I mean,
Well, no. If you're a truck driver with intelligence and common sense
yes.
and you see things, you understand what's going on.
And see, and here's the thing, and this is another key part that a lot of people don't realize. Become friends that people that are brokers. The reason why, 'cause that builds a network. That also teaches you where
Talking about
to where you can come out ahead and not be under the 8 ball.
Were you talking about C.H. Robinson, Coyote, Alan Lund, Suntech?
No, 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 no,
Oh,
no,
you
no,
were
no, no.
talking about that guy that still uses sticky notes and stuff that had customers forever that's been working with his wife out of his house and they just maintain like Frank said.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was making sure.
You know
Okay.
why? Yeah. Well, the reason why is because why? They're down to earth and they know what they're talking about because if they didn't, they wouldn't be in business. And when you're dealing with like C.H. Robinson and all them, they're a big giant corporation. Them guys care less about what you are compared to like this guy I know that's Shaggy Consultants and Frank G Trucks. Um, them guys actually know you on a personal level and get down to the nitty gritty of what you need, what you want, and how you want to do it.
We have
That's
to
the
because we
key.
can't survive without it. We don't have
That's
the
right.
throw around.
Both C.H. Robinson and Coyote and all them, they don't. They just say, "What kind of truck you got? All right, here, I got a load. Just run it."
Their
They
job,
don't.
right? All
Yep.
those guys build it, sell it, and get rid of it.
Yep.
Here's Roger. Roger's the man. We were just talking about how he almost got fucked over by those foreigners that tried to destroy his company by reviews because he
Wow.
was doing the right thing. Oh yeah, you should never buy a truck and just depend on someone else to drive it. There is zero integrity in this business anymore. I 100% agree.
Yep. Exactly.
I mean,
No one's there to help the company. They're out for themselves. What kind of
unless,
money can I make if I can get a guy to buy a truck?
unless you're some good old boy farm dude like that has a whole bunch of farmer buddies that only drive 370 Pete's that are decked out with chrome and you can afford that shit.
Yeah. But how did they get there? If you got them kind of trucks, that's
They're
because they work and run their lanes and they got
because
solid.
they're doing farming, they're hauling grain, they're going to elevators, they're switching their trailers when they need to, they're following the
Yep.
product.
Yes. They're following where they need to be at the right
They're
time.
fucking home every weekend too.
Yep. Yep. And if they ain't, they're home the following weekend.
Well, and there's a reason why they're doing it. It's probably because they were making a little extra money and service their customer. Because I can tell you, they're not doing it for free. Either something fell
No.
out and they're just bailing out their guy, or they're getting paid for it.
Yep. Definitely.
Right. All right.
It's
So
like a couple of them that I know that actually started hauling other stuff that's not even in their lane. That's something that they weren't used to. and they are now hauling it because someone in their local area come up to them and said, "Hey, I see you guys all the time. I need product moved. Can you move it?" Well, hell yeah, we can move it. They took their trucks and went from what they normally run and went totally in the opposite direction to haul this, and it's paying them damn good money.
I get it.
Paying them damn good money.
What
And he never realized it until the
and what
guy came up to him.
Nelson doesn't understand is between my wife, you, me, and half the people on my team, we probably got. I got 18. How many years you got?
I got 25.
Frank's got
And I
over.
still hold a CDL, so you know.
Frank's got over 30. Uh, there's people on my team that have been in trucking like for 30, 30, 30. That's why we have experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, here it was. It was insane. This is nuts. This guy was like either they were double brokering, but more likely they were a dispatch center, and he just happened to get the head cheese of that center. And
Yeah.
because he dispatched so many retards that they keep all their information, that this guy
Mhm.
when Roger busted him for double brokering and confronted him and everything, the guy got so pissed off because I think Roger put him on freight guard,
Oh, all right.
move the freight guard, he was going to put reviews like nonstop everywhere. And he did. He started it. They have that much power, that many workers that they can sick them on it.
Yeah,
And one
because
thing
they got so many of them that they run other, and it really does suck because yeah,
see, he said it's insane the death threats they got. Come find out it was only one. It was only one, and it's supposedly they are under investigation for several things, but remain active. One guy to be capable of doing all that.
yeah,
And Trucker Nick says, and it's a great show today, man. We had up to 20 people enrolling in. I paid cash
right.
for my semi truck in 2018, been with the same company for 7 years. I'm so broke, my power is about to get shut off, and I can't figure out how to get away from load boards. Oh, haven't we already talked, Trucker Nick? But see, this is the problem, though. When you give yourself an opportunity to get so far in, sometimes you can't get away from load boards. You can't. You're
Yeah,
so far in, you're stuck. You don't even have the
yeah.
time
'Cause
to
you
fuck
don't have
around.
yeah, because you lost your cushion to be able to switch
Oh, yeah.
because now you're just living off of load by load,
All
and then
right.
you probably got a factoring company
Oh,
that's
he's leased
automatically
on.
as soon as you get it in 24 hours you got your money in the bank.
He's leased
But
on. He's like these
yeah,
owner operators that are leased into a situation that they can't even afford to change, so they're stuck into the web.
yeah,
I see it every day. And it's like, okay, I get it, right? You're so dang, but how did it get here? I mean, you've been
yeah,
with the motherfucker since 2008.
yeah.
You've seen it
You've
coming.
been with them 7 years. There had to be red flags somewhere along that way showing where that issue's at.
This is the call I get
Now
every
the
day right
question is, did you buy the truck from the employee or from the company? Because if that's so, then that's where you started out getting burned on the truck,
now. Yeah,
and that's
well,
when you started going into debt with it.
that's a whole nother show, though.
I know, but I'm just saying, if you bought the truck from the company, that
Well,
started the
why do
first
you
red
stay
flag
there?
rolling
Why do they stay there? Lease on to somebody else. Move.
because maybe that was part of the deal. Until the truck was paid off, you had to keep it with the company.
Hey, sometimes, guys, you work for a company that their freight's the one that causes you to be in problem because their program sucks, but you're loyal. And sometimes you owe people money at a carrier, but you have to figure out who's the leader of your business. We just talked about it.
Yeah,
If Shaggy's not getting taken care of, making the money to pay his bills, how can Shaggy keep running a corporation with 5 businesses?
yeah,
Or
yeah.
man,
And the thing is, when you read it, when they do a contract, make sure you read that contract thoroughly before you sign it. Because if it says on there that you can't take the truck somewhere else, like, no, wait a minute, I'm buying this truck. I own the truck. It's my authority going on it. I should be able to take it somewhere. And a lot of them will sneak that in there that you can't take the truck anywhere else, but leave it with them until it's paid. That's
Rogers,
where you get screwed real quick
once he put the
because
freight,
then they'll give you crap loads because they know you're,
oh, yeah.
yeah, because we'll give you the fuel and everything else. We'll take it all off the top and then we'll give you your cut and we'll show it all. We'll break it down.
But what
And
he's
then
doing
when they
right
do
now,
that, you get screwed.
what Trucker Nick is doing, yeah, he paid cash for his Freightliner. I remember talking to him. His truck's his. He's just
Yeah.
had breakdowns, freight's dropped, and he's a loyal guy. But how far does loyalty go? I mean, if we don't, you listen to Steve Harvey. He says you're in business. When you're an owner operator, you're no different than a one truck authority. You're just paying
That's right.
for somebody else.
Yeah, you're the man in charge because it's your truck. If you paid cash for your truck and you own it, then yeah, I mean, you'll look at it. The way you know when it's time to go is when you can't sit there. The first question is, all right, I'm gonna be late on my mortgage, or I ain't able to make my truck payment. No, I don't mean the one you're working about. I mean like your personal stuff.
First time you have a breakdown and you have to borrow money from a company you're working for, you have to sit. That's the first time you sit down and go, "Where's Shaggy?"
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's working
That's where
before
you.
I get too
Yeah.
far in, and you got to be like, "Well, what do I want to do with my business?" Because I can't put on owner operators over here; it won't help me. I can't go and add more trucks because that's not going to benefit me. Because then I got to cover them when I'm done, and I can't get customers. So when am I going to make a change, or am I going to keep grooving?
No, it's time to make a change.
Well, why
You have
not?
to. You have to bite the bullet. It might hurt for the first month or two.
How am I hurt
Just
for the
saying, it's
6
going to
months?
hurt.
How do you not change?
You got to change because if not, you're going to go. You're going to be like the rest of them. You're going to go under. You're
It's
going
the
to go
same
under.
thing.
You're going to be in debt. You're going to end up losing your house or being so far in debt you're going to get sued for it.
It's the same thing with me sitting here right now. I'm like Trucker Nick, right? I have four
Yeah.
businesses and they're all doing great. I'm not discouraged at all. They're all on the right path. And I should already be off here working in one of them, right? But I'm
I'm
not
sorry.
with you. It's your fault too. Anyway,
Yeah, I know. I said I'm sorry.
I know. And but it's like same thing this morning. I had that knee surgery, so and then but when you go
Yeah,
for training 25 people for a week for 3 years straight, every night, 3 days a week, or 3 weeks out of the month, and then everybody goes to shock. It's like you're in aftershock. That's what Trucker Nick. You're in aftershock because this year and a half has gone by so fast. It's been so horrible, so quick because we're all.
yeah.
It's crazy, and now we're all sitting here at a brick wall, going, "What do I do? Do I go get a job? Do I work at Walmart? Do I go to Waffle House? Do I start dispatching 5 trucks because they won't do it themselves and cover my bills, build my brokerage, open a trucking company, and keep moving forward and take care of me and let the rest of them catch up?"
Yeah,
How,
you
what
take
do I
care of yourself and let the rest of them catch up because you're number one. You're the boss. You're the one that's gonna want to know what you want to do.
see? That's been my biggest problem since I've been in this business. Is I was born with this gene in here, like right here on the left side, right here. There's a little
Yeah,
part right there they stuck in extra.
yeah.
And it makes me help people, makes me answer phones and talk longer than I should. Because really, what I should do is say, "You're having problems, man. That sucks." I would sit here and tell you all this impressive stuff about what you should have did, what you could have did, and what you should have done, and what you are not doing now. But I'll just tell you, go sign up on my website, and I'll help you.
Yeah.
But I don't. I spend like an hour on the phone, and I
You
help them.
want to, yeah, because you're getting to know them and they're getting to know you and they're getting the information. It's that one-on-one connection,
Right,
which
but
makes
in
it
that 1 hour,
better.
I slip and
Yeah,
give them 3 things they need, and I don't get paid for it.
yeah.
When do you draw the line and stop worrying about saving the world because no one cares?
But somebody's got to care. Somebody's got to do something.
Every minute I
And
think,
it's like me. I mean, when do I stop doing what I do?
huh,
I
what do
mean,
you
I
do in
can,
life?
but I don't because I have a heart that I do care. I
Well,
do want. I want to pass my knowledge on,
me too.
and I want someone else to know it.
I want to leave something behind for all my craziness, man. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
It's just like the martial arts school. I know my wife hates it right now because it's summertime. Kids aren't showing up. They're going to 4-H. They're going to youth camps, church things.
yeah.
They're going to their grandma's house for summer break. And my wife's showing up at a school to teach. And
And
I
there's
know
hardly anybody there. Yeah,
it's like, why do I do the research? Why do I keep paying attention to the market? Why do I put this stuff out there? Why don't I just go and be like the rest?
because that's what makes us better than the rest.
I don't know how to be like
Because
like I
we,
imagine, like I imagine everything I know, Charles, right? Like
yeah,
factoring to the insurance to software to the freaking this all these systems I worked, the affiliate programs I built, all this stuff,
mhm,
the trucking company, 25 trucks twice, plus all the other carriers. And I think about, man, I look at all these guys that are actually crooks doing it, and I'm like, man, I know so many smoother ways.
yeah.
But it's not right.
No, see, we weren't built with that gene to screw people. That's the thing. And people are so easy to be deceived than it is to sit there and actually. Uh, it's easier to be deceived than it is to do it the right way. Because when you do it the right way and you put the effort in, that's a lot of hard work, and a lot of people don't want to put in that hard work. They want it to be kind of easy.
No, me and
But if
Kathy
you put
and
in the hard work,
William, dude.
at the end, you can sit there and go, "Look what I got! Look what I did! Look what I can do!" Now, all that hard work was put in. Now, look where I'm at. I can actually sit here and be comfortable and be able to sit there when the market goes bad. I can sit here. I can sit there and say, all right, I can take a couple of weeks off, or I can take the month off and go on a vacation. I got enough cushion and I got enough built over the years of the hard work that I've done. I
See,
can sit here and take the time.
this is the fun part about having you numbnuts on here. You old school guys like Frank and stuff like that. Frank's a little different than you, but you
Yep.
kill me because you come in, you and James, the guy that's on here that one time, you guys
Hmm.
come in with that trucker mindset because you're it's like you reach over a little bit into the world of having all those other trucks, but because you've never been in that side of it, sometimes when you see your conversation goes back to that one truck mindset or that two truck mindset, like your buddies that are old school that do work hard when it's there to save up for that time when it's not. And then on
Yep.
the other side of it, though, when you have when you're like Sparky, you don't have time to have that mindset.
Yeah.
You have 7, 9 trucks that have to run all the time. You can't park them
No,
to
no,
keep.
you got to keep them running because you're taking care of how many families?
Yeah,
9 families you're
so
taking care of.
that's why I wanted to bring it up. There's nothing wrong. I'm just saying your mindset going when you think about it, the mindset of a one truck guy with his brother running with him and have 2 trucks, or it's
Yeah.
2 cousins and an uncle or whatever. Well, the diversity side of it's still there because they have none because it's family involved and everybody's got to eat, right? So the
Yeah.
term of the feeder and eater, I want to go back to you where you messed up. So a feeder is a guy that has a brokerage. He
All
has a
right.
trucking company where he provides freight and trailers to owner operators, but he literally owns no equipment because everybody else is paying for it
Yep.
and uses everybody else's money to serve a product. A eater is a guy that opens a business that buys a truck and drives it himself. An eater is a guy that buys a truck and puts company drivers in it. Because at all times and any time, if a truck breaks down, who's eating? Who has to still go and drive?
You do because
When
yeah,
when a
they
truck's
own it
broke down and he don't drive and he's got 2 other drivers, where's his profits go?
out to the truck because it ain't
And
because
if you
you're
don't
having to
have other businesses feeding him and his wife ain't a millionaire with a good job, right, to cover those bad weeks.
pay. Yep.
If a guy has 5 or 10 owner operators paying him 15 to 20%, and they're covering insurance, fuel, fixed cost, escrow, truck payment, trailer rental, and everything, and he's just providing the freight and the payroll, plus he's making 15% off the top of the freight he's giving them legitimately, and he's still giving you 7,000 plus per week in your home on weekends, but he doesn't really own anything but the authorities. Is that a feeder?
No, that's an eater.
That's
Yeah.
still a feeder because he's not driving. He's dictating he's using
Oh,
everybody else's stuff to
I,
make.
I took that the wrong
You
direction. My
flipped
bad.
it around.
Yeah.
The guy that's
Yeah.
always working for himself goes on vacation once a year, getting by, just doing what he needs. It's not a bad thing, right? But one
No.
is this you're eating because you're always like one problem away, one breakdown, one week off you didn't expect, one
Yeah.
truck breakdown, one thing. A feeder is a person that if a truck breaks down and he has 3 owner operators and he's making $12,000 a month off the owner operators and he don't make anything for that month, is he still in business?
Yes, he's still in business.
But that's not eating, that's feeding. It's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah. Yeah. Gotcha. I
Like the
understand what
great
you're
guy
saying.
Warren Buffett said the best thing in the world sometimes is use everybody else's money to make money, right?
Yep.
It's like what's that guy on Shark Tank that took $5,000 and became a billionaire, multi-million? He invested 5 grand, or is the lady, the real estate lady?
Yeah. 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 She invested 5 and yeah, become a
Yeah,
millionaire off it.
because you
Yeah.
could go and get in debt to do it, which is buying trucks, having drivers, getting loans,
Yep.
or you can learn how to do it without it and build a product that you can sell and be a feeder, right?
Yes.
But like Frank said, most of us only have the concept to get one product down, one job down, try to juggle it all. We think we can, but we really can't without a team.
Yeah.
I can't do it
And a
without.
lot and a lot of them don't want to put in the effort to get a team.
Oh yeah, I can sit here and run 25 trucks and book loads all day long and be out by 6 and probably
Yeah.
take Friday and Saturday off and Sunday. But I'm not good at the paperwork. I'm not good at the hiring. I really hate fucking accounting.
Yeah.
But let's
I got
talk, negotiate, sell, move trucks. It's like I'm not a mechanic, but you are. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But I'll dispatch 25 trucks. I'll call a customer.
Yeah.
I'll listen to brokers and Bill Network. I don't ask the 5 questions. I ask like 20.
Yeah. I got you.
So
And
we've
see,
all
like we're
now
like in
we're like
like
two.
in doing mechanics, you're going out by the word of mouth because what you did to this guy, he's gonna go out and tell his friends to come into you because you did a good deal
So
and you
now,
did excellent work, and then it just spreads.
so now that we did 2 shows in one,
Yeah.
because we did 2 shows in one, and we're losing all our people because we're down to 3. And when you keep it at 45 minutes, it gets
Yeah.
up to like 20 people. When you get
Yeah.
past that hour part, everybody starts falling asleep.
Yeah. I got you.
No, it's all
But I'll
cool.
get out of here.
No,
You're
this
gonna be
is
on
great
tomorrow.
information. Come on tomorrow
All right.
if you're around.
Yeah, I'll be around. I ain't
I'm
gonna be
not,
doing much, but sitting here looking at the rain.
I am not. So literally, I am not in rock bottom.
No.
I just built up a lifestyle that went with the money I was making and should have not made. Should have not and thought different because I didn't expect things to change. So I'm not on rock bottom. I'm like every other carrier out there. I'm called rebuilding.
Yeah.
Finding a way. So I'm a broker. I have a brokerage, Shaggy's Logistics. I have a compliance company, Shaggy Solutions. I have a dispatching called Shaggy's Dispatch. I have Shaggy's Consulting, and it's here soon. I'll have the trucking company. The only thing I need to fix is I need to bring the dispatching back because I'm tired of finding carriers that don't know what the fuck they're doing, and I need to book their hauls backhaul to control my customers. And it's just obvious. I know what I need to do. The problem is just implementing it and doing it. I got it fixed. I just need to do it. Stop talking about it. So I'm not
Yeah.
at the bottom. I'm paying all my bills. I have money and everything. It's just if I don't do something in the next 3 months and keep everything moving and generate. See, because there's types of businesses that take time to build and grow to make money, and there's
Hmm.
types of business that you can make money now and do it. And I'm spending more time on building the team in the long term that I need to get back to me now
Yeah. I
and what
got you.
I was building. And it's when you're doing business, it's can I learn all these concepts before it's too late?
Yeah.
Or do I just go build the concepts before I start and have the work? You know what I mean? I mean, either way, you're fighting.
Yeah. You're. Yeah. It's like catch 22. Either way, you're gonna go about it.
It takes time.
Yeah.
Real businesses weren't built in.
Time and patience.
The only way a real business is built like where it goes right off the back is if I go buy a fucking Culver's
Yeah.
and it opens up and here's a restaurant, there's my employees, we're making money. If I file an authority, you wait 21 days and put owner operators on. As soon as that owner operator's on, I'm making money. That's not like spending 4 months looking for a fucking customer.
No. No. Because you already got that already set up.
Yeah, and when I'm doing the dispatching and the broker, all they have is brokers call me telling problems that they can't get covered for their customers. The problem, and people don't understand it. My problem is identifying if it's a cheap fucking customer, or if it's a good customer, or if it's a customer I could even work with if I wanted to. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Makes sense. Yeah. I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
Anyways, it's called experience, Nelson. We all have experience.
Yes.
You don't have to be a
Life lessons.
stand brokerage.
Yep. Life lessons is
Shit,
what it's called.
if the first 9 years in business, I always counted on brokers. My friends that were brokers, they take the customers as referrals, and I thought that was the way to go. Until I really got focused in like 16 and 17 to what was going being told and what wasn't real. I mean, look at you're not even a broker. Look how much information you know.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, you think about all of us out there that have all that experience, and if we wouldn't have knew the concept of what we're teaching, well, we could again. Like, you know
Yeah.
how many customers I left on the table in fucking like 13 years?
Yeah. Quite a few.
You know
There
what I
was a
mean?
lot of things I've left on the table over the years too that I've sat there and I look back and I go, Man, where in the hell was my mind at?
Dude, you know how many times we walked in shippers and receivers, and because we weren't impatient, we weren't fucking a dick or whatever, we're talking to the guy that has the tenders in his hands, and he's on the phone with the guy he's giving them to, bitching, and we're right there, and we don't say a word.
No. Yeah. Yeah. Where you can actually open up the door for yourself.
My
Yeah.
favorite part is when people come in as brokers that are like, have you ever come in, has Nelson ever jumped in a truck and actually went out with a carrier like Charles and had Charles walk in shippers and receiver doors to break the ice of going in shippers and receivers?
Yeah.
I mean, you were a truck driver, but now you're a broker and you don't walk through the doors and talk to them?
Yeah.
But
You got to. You got to, because you'd be stupid not to.
if you do talk to them, do you talk at truckadese or stupidese? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yep. Exactly. How's the old saying go? The stupider you are, the smarter it is on you. Yeah.
All right, Charles, tell them where to find you.
You can find me at Left Lane with Lefty. You can find me on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I also have leftlane.lefty.com. You can go over there and check out some things. We're still building on the site, but it is up and running. And we do have new merch out. It is out on my personal page. You can go over there and you can get Left Lane with Lefty shirts, hats, sweaters, jackets, and all that hats. So go over there and look it up. We'll get it, and I'll see you tomorrow morning, brother.
Later, brother.
Later.